show, the fast 5 things you need to know. We'll start your day off swirly, it's the toast. I sound amazing.
Welcome back to the toast and happy hump day. Unfortunately, I cannot participate in hump day this week. I'm just far too immobile, you know?
Yes, and that's fine. There are other ways to participate in hump day.
Do tell.
You know, pet a camel. Go on a camel ride.
Pet a camel. Yeah.
There's a lot of things you could
Problem
celebrate
solved.
in spirit. You could be there for someone who is celebrating hump day.
Yeah. I just want to give a shout out. Not a shout out, sort of like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a precursor, but like a,
Tell us what you're going to do, and then I'll try and tell you what you did.
kind of like a message I want to give to everyone before the show
PSA?
starts. Okay. No, but like it's a pre. Like, help me, please find the word, please. It's like kind of the opposite of an epilogue.
Prologue?
Yeah, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Like
preemptive? PSA?
kind of. Keep going. You're close.
I don't know.
Okay. I just want to give like a preemptive
like
PSA.
a warning.
A what?
A warning.
Yeah, that is another like synonym for what I'm looking for, but we haven't found the word yet. I would like to just give a warning, yes, to anyone watching on YouTube. I look sweet right now. I will have to start spreading my legs on this show. Like, I can't sit like this anymore. I'm going to have to start sitting like a man, and I don't want to hear a word about it, okay? I'm going through a lot.
She's man-spreading. She'll be mansplaining. But who cares if, like, a man is spreading on a solo chair? Like, we don't care. You know what I mean?
It's just, like, look, this is how I need to sit, honestly, to be comfortable. Look how unattractive I look.
You actually don't look bad. You look like you're sitting on a medicine ball.
Yes, that's how I've been taught to sit.
Which is good for your condition.
Exactly. I have a condition.
Yeah. That's like so Victorian age.
What is?
Like calling it a condition.
I have many conditions, actually.
But it is a condition.
So I don't want to hear a word about the way I'm sitting. Like, if you want the show to go on for more than an hour, I'm just going to have to sit like this, okay?
I don't think anyone minds. I think you're the one who's minding.
I mind. I don't want to watch clips of me later today looking like this. Like,
I understand. Maybe
I
we'll,
feel
like,
sick.
Just crop in like above the waist for you.
Love that. If you see clips for the next couple of weeks where I'm extremely zoomed in, don't ask questions.
Yeah. I think you look prepared.
Ready for anything.
Yeah. Your posture is great.
Thank you.
It's not what you think, Coach.
Okay. So that was my little preemptive warning. What was the word I was looking for? Whatever. Hey, Jax, how you doing? Happy Wednesday. Today we have a great show. We have the Valley recap.
Yes, we do have the Valley recap. Excited to talk about it. I also watch What Happens Live with the pregnant ladies, which was so cute.
Oh, no, I went straight to sleep. Like,
well, I wasn't going to watch, but then I saw it was Valley, and it was only Valley, not, some rando. And it was Nia and Kristen who are both pregnant. And, like, I don't think that Watch What Happens Live has ever been, like, so pregnancy friendly. You know, it's just like I wanted to support.
Did you feel like an obligation to watch?
Not obligation. I wanted to support what they're doing, you know, because I feel like sometimes you get pregnant and like everyone forgets about you until you're ready to like be a snatchler again.
And Kristen Doty refuses to be forgotten.
No, and like platform pregnant women. I love that. And I'm going to watch live.
That's beautiful.
Even though their polls are rigged, they gave everyone 2 seconds to vote. And not that I voted.
She says the polls are rigged.
But like every poll starts and one answer goes to 100. And it's literally never the winning answer. So someone just voted one person and then they're waiting for the rest of the votes. And they cut off the last poll, like when it was coming down from 100 to like 98 and like told Kristen she won. It was like Kristen versus Janet or something like that. And it was like,
Jackie, they're protecting pregnant women. Like,
that's true. But Kristen, like she's made, like she doesn't need protecting from like audience opinion. Like it rolls off her back.
They were actually playing on Bravo before the new episode of The Valley last night. They were playing old Vanderpump Rules episodes. Season 1, Jax, Kristen, Stassi, Tom. Let me tell you, it was a trip. I haven't seen it in so long. And they played the episode where, of course, Kristen gets backhanded by Stassi. And then Tom and Jax like go at each other in the middle of SUR. And it's seriously so funny. When the group erupts and Jax and Tom are like physically beating the shit out of each other, everybody disperses because they were in a big group. All the girls are there. They're like in, and Sheena gets shoved. She is in the corner sobbing. I just got my tooth fixed and they shoved me. And it's like, your tooth is fine. You're fine. It's actually funny because the running joke now is like, you know,
Sheena makes everything about Sheena.
A senator dies, and it's like, well, how is Sheena Shea doing? And she has been that way since day one. It was hysterical to watch.
That's great. We love consistency. I was also thinking when I was watching last night about the origins of the show and like how Jax and Stassi were dating, and they were like the couple, the number one couple in this group. And there could not be two more different people in present day. Like Stassi,
two more incompatible people.
Is going to be on the cover of Vogue.
Yeah.
Jax has a thong on his counter.
I was thinking that too when Kristen was in his house. I'm like, you two fucked.
I'm thinking like you two are perfect for each other.
1000%.
Even though nobody deserves Jax in his current state.
1000%. So we'll do a full Valley recap at the end of today's episode. Stories, how would you describe?
Good. We'll see. To be determined. You know, like the stories will be what we make them.
I believe it was the great Hannah Montana who once said, life's what you make it. So let's make it rock.
And we do make it rock all the time. Even yesterday, Mr. and Mr. Maldonado, like we didn't want to talk about it. It wound up being like the funniest conversation of the day. So
title.
It wound up being the title. Thanks, Joe Exotic. What's so funny is during Watch What Happens Live, like Andy's mazel went to Joe Exotic.
Does he still do the mazel of the day? I thought he didn't.
And then like he weirdly made the jackhole himself for being married like less times than Joe Exotic. Like because Joe Exotic is
so they couldn't think of anything.
Joe Exotic is on like his 6th husband or 3rd.
5th.
And Andy's like, he's been married more times than I'll ever be in my life. Like, does Andy even want to get married? Because he'd be married.
Yeah, but 1000%. He's the most eligible gay man in New York. Like every gay guy is like dying to date him. He's wealthy, he's successful, he's handsome, he's so funny, he's got a great personality.
That's like Leonardo DiCaprio being like, I've never been married.
But it's by choice, please. Like,
right.
Stop.
Like, I don't feel bad for you.
Don't pretend to be relatable to like people who actually want to get married and can't.
Yeah, that was like a flop of a jackhole. Just want to say. Nobody asked.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard to, I mean, we do Queenie and Weenie once a week, which is like similar to Mazel and Jackal. And sometimes it's hard to come up and they have to do it every day. We have a whole week of stories.
Yeah. Yeah, but the pressure's on.
But they also have like a whole production team.
And like the pressure's on for Queenie and Weenie because like it's so amazing, you know, and we crush it. Mazel and Jackal stink.
Wow. She says Mazel and Jackal stink.
And like stop with the Mazel, okay? You don't deserve it.
She said what she said.
I mean, we all agree.
I wish I had more to update you guys on.
Also, Andy's attitude last night. I'm on Andy attitude.
Oh yeah,
control.
what was the like the Bechdel test of Andy's attitude?
Neutral, fine. Like neutral, good.
Okay.
However, the only time in the episode when he like actually perked up and slowed down and was like paying attention, and all of a sudden in no rush, 2 people came on the virtual to ask a question, and they had a dog with them, and the dog looked a little bit like Waka, like with the ears, and. Oh my God, your dog is so cute.
That's really funny.
They were like, oh my God, he would love to come to see Watch What Happens
because
Live.
You know he like literally rushes those people off usually. People who call in or zoom in. He rushes them off so quickly.
Claudia,
what's your name? Where are you from? What's your question?
All of a sudden, so much time, he's joking with them. They're like, the dog would love to come see Watch What Happens Live. And Andy's like, that's not going to happen. Like,
oh, that's funny.
No dogs on the set. Sorry, you guys could come. And like, literally, time stood still.
Meanwhile, normally, if people love to, they say their question, but they love to say one thing before being like, Andy, I love you, or
I read your book, it meant so much to me. And they address like everyone in the room before they ask the person their question.
And I know it pisses Andy off so much because they don't have any time. He's like, thanks so much. What's your question? Where are you from? And that's hysterical that he gave the time of day to the dog.
Yeah, and someone in the audience asked a question like on the microphone. I thought they were bringing that back because like they need to get rid of the virtual questions. These people are loose cannons. Like it's so weird. It's so awkward too. The girl's like reading off a screen. Like stop. Like why can't it be the audience members?
A lot of times they clearly have it memorized or like they have a Post-it taped to their like webcam because I mean it is a lot of pressure, and if it is live, it's even more pressure. I agree. That's like a Zoom thing, that a COVID thing that they brought into.
Gotta go.
Agreed. What did they do before? They had people call in.
Okay, well, I like the audience.
Me too.
Works for me.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's your Watch What Happens Live recap.
I wish I had more to like update the crew on, you know, in terms of what I did yesterday. It was just a busy day taking care of me. Acupuncture, physical therapy. I did my stretches all night long. Like, I'm tired of doing it. I know you guys are tired of hearing about it. So like, I'll just shut up.
Sometimes self-care looks like hard work. And sometimes hard work looks like self-care.
It's a lot of work.
I'm sorry. I had a nice evening yesterday. We had a picnic, a pizza party picnic.
without me.
Because the cleaners came. My house was so clean finally because it was like a tornado blew through here over the weekend with the potty training and everything. So I was like, I don't want to cook. I don't want to be like picking a food up off the floor. Let's go eat in the grass. And we picked up some pizza and we had like a little pizza party. It was really cute. Highlight like free idea. Like take your kids out for a pizza party picnic.
The way like the housekeeper coming like changes the whole week.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I shared this, but like the other day, Ben was like, we should just order in tonight, right? Because the housekeeper was here yesterday. And I said, like my work is done.
Like his awareness of that.
Yes,
of
we
like
should.
The correlation.
We should order in. And he was like, and we're going away. It was like maybe the week we went to the Mayflower and he was like, well, we're going away on Friday. So the housekeeper came in on Wednesday. Thursday, we should just order in, right?
Planning?
So I've literally, and my nipples got hard. I was like, yes, we should order in.
Tell me more.
And then, by the way, I forgot to tell you this. Okay, so Ben used this studio yesterday to record Good Guys. Not my setup. This little corner of the studio is off limits to everyone. But we have another little setup when you came to New York. So I said, Ben, yeah, feel free to move some furniture around and use the camera. And I think it's better because then we don't run into any potential issues of him turning my microphone off or whatever.
So you think.
So I was feeling really good this morning, like feeling really good. And I'm getting dressed and I'm explaining to Ben how tough it is to get dressed because it's so hot in the city and my studio is so hot. He was like, yeah, it was really hot in there when I actually opened the window. I'm like, yeah, I open the window all the time. It like lets in a lot of fresh air. It's nice. He was like, yeah. And then he starts like stewing. I'm like, what's wrong?
Did I close it?
He was like, I feel like I didn't close the window. And I started to freak because I already have like a pit about leaving the window open. I feel like a bird's going to fly in. Like and right outside my window is someone's like alley thing. So they like leave their trash there. There's definitely rats, like for sure. So I try to limit and I'm like, the window's been open for 15 hours. I was seriously so mad. He's like, let me go to the studio first. I'll go check it out. Make sure like I did or didn't close it. Make sure there's not a pigeon. Made him FaceTime me because I knew if the window was open, he would close it and say that it wasn't.
Right.
So I made him FaceTime me and the window was closed. So I'm like, okay. He was like, Claudia, I'm so shocked. I was 100% sure I left it open. And I was like, okay. Then I got here today. The window was 1,000% closed, but there were some packages inside. So one of the guys who works in my building, he has a key. He lets in my packages. So I'm like, maybe he dropped off the packages like, and then saw the window and closed it like as a courtesy. Because when I was cleaning up, like Ben left it a little messy, I saw a couple of feathers on the ground. And where would a feather have come from? And it was gray black, like the color of a pigeon.
My God. I don't think that your building person would shut the window, actually. I feel like they would.
No, he would. Like, I'm telling you my relationship with him. Like, he looks out for me. I look out for him. Like, we're good friends.
Like, maybe you left it open on purpose, like, to air out the space. Like, I don't know. That's not something that that's such a red flag.
Should I ask him? Like we text?
Yeah. We need now to solve the mystery. Be like, just curious. Was the window open when you came in?
Hey, just curious, period. When you dropped off packages yesterday, was my window open, ? Thanks.
We have to get to the bottom of this.
I know, because I said to Ben, if you walk in there and the window's open, there is a ban. You are not allowed to use my studio anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, and I've kind of told him to fuck off because he's made so many issues in our studio. But he needed it. And I was like, you know what? I don't use that second studio. Sure. Like, I thought I could be magnanimous. And I'm like, day one, you're causing issues?
A pigeon in.
I'm not even worried about a pigeon. I'm really worried about a rat.
I am worried for you.
Yeah. So I'll keep you updated on what he says.
Keep me updated. Wow.
Yeah. It was a busy morning.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah. It was a busy morning.
Okay.
I also forgot to totally update you guys. Over the weekend, Ben and I started our new car journey because I'm looking for a new car.
Oh, this has been so exciting for me.
It has been really exciting.
To see you going through what I've been going through. And
yeah, I can't believe you ended up with a Tesla. Like, that's so not even like in my options.
It wasn't in my options. If you remember, like I was going to do like Volvo XC60, like
right.
A couple of mom cars, and then I had lunch with someone who has a Tesla, and like they made us test drive. It's like it's 0 to 60 and
right, 0 to 60,
which like doesn't get me going. Except when I am in a red light and it turns green, like I'm ahead of everyone when it turns because
not for long.
My car starts faster than theirs.
Yeah, but not for long.
What do you mean?
Like you're a
then
slow
they catch
driver.
up. Yeah. But it's like if I need to switch lanes, like I don't have a pit about it. I'm like,
That's good, yeah.
and he was like, showed us the car, which was really cool. Explained some of the features, no key, whatever. You just walk away from the car. I'm like, it wasn't doing anything for me. But then he was talking about the safety. And I was really interested in a safe vehicle.
Yes.
And they are so heavy. The battery is so heavy. It makes them really safe. And they can detect certain accidents. Like he really made a case for the safety. And I was like, okay, done. And you can literally you can't order other cars online, but you can literally order a Tesla on your phone. And I'm picking up my new one next week. I know I say that every week, by the way.
I didn't drop anything off in your space yesterday, so I don't know. Okay, no, that's good because that means when Ben was here, he brought in my packages.
Oh.
So Ben did close the window. Where the fuck did that feather come from?
I don't know. Ask Ben if he brought in the packages. Maybe it was a different super.
No.
We need to we need to bring this case to a close.
Did you bring in packages to the studio yesterday when you were here, question mark?
Or this morning?
Or this morning, question mark? Good call. Okay, yeah, so we went to a bunch of dealerships. What I thought I wanted, I spoke to the car mom at length. I've actually narrowed it down to a couple of cars. I spoke to the car mom at length too, and then she endorsed my choice, so I felt she endorsed, she's endorsing my choices. I fell in love with this car, this Lexus, and she was like, no.
Why?
No. She was like, your Duna will not fit.
Why?
I didn't even think the car seats couldn't fit in certain cars. The second row was just not big enough for a Duna. And she was like, it's big enough for some car seats. The Duna happens to be big, but as a city dweller, you don't have a choice. You need a Duna.
Okay, the Duna is big, but if you put it on the side that you're sitting on, so if you're the passenger and you don't need a lot of leg room, you're fine.
Yes, that's what she said. But what if I need it to be on the other side for some reason? I'm not buying a car that I can only use half of,
That's true, but I have a small, my car is small for an SUV and car seats fit. It's not been an issue.
Your car is not an SUV.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
The model. What would you say it is?
Sedan.
Oh.
An SUV is what Zach drives, a big car. Exactly. That's why I said it was so crazy that's what you landed on. Because I'm only looking at SUVs. So I have a couple in mind. She did recommend. I'm between 3 cars. If anybody cares, it's the Mercedes. I don't know what it's called. It's the BMW X7 or the Genesis GV80. Ben's actually at the. Yes.
That
Ben
new
is
brand?
Ben is actually at the dealership right now. He's loving it.
The Tesla Model Y is a compact crossover SUV.
I'm sorry, it's not an SUV.
It is. It's not a sedan. The sedan is the Model S.
You guys, it's literally the shape of a sedan. What are we talking about?
It's not a sedan. I'm just telling you, it's an SUV. It's a smaller one, but it is an SUV. Just to defend my vehicle.
I'm just saying it's not.
Okay.
But everything I know about SUVs, which is kind of a lot. There's no way.
There's mid-size SUVs. There's extra jumbo SUVs. Mine is a small SUV, a compact crossover. I'm sorry, compact crossover.
I don't know about that. So the journey continues. Margot put me onto it. It's, first of all, so nice. And she, when the car mom did a video for me, before I ever reached out to her, she recommended a few cars and that was her top pick for me. So then I looked into it. And Ben is there now. And the thing is, me and Ben are obsessed with the idea of getting a hunter green car, mostly Ben. And not everyone makes hunter green. So when the Genesis came in a forest green, he's like, oh, okay, I'll get it now. He's very transparent. He's doing a test drive right now. So stay tuned.
Who makes the Genesis?
Genesis.
Where are they based out of?
It's Hyundai.
It's Hyundai?
It's the parent company or whatever.
Oh, so it's Hyundai.
Yeah, but it's a Genesis. It's by the way, and now I'm learning so much. Toyota owns Lexus.
I think I knew that, but they're different.
Mercedes owns Acura.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they all are it's a conglomerate energy.
Yeah. Okay, so I endorse the Genesis. I see them a lot. I'm always that's a nice looking car, but when it's a new car,
No, let me tell you, low-key, it looks like a Bentley.
Yeah.
The logo's eerily similar, so I'm just going to let people think I'm driving a Bentley.
Well, I look forward to seeing what you decide.
Yeah, it's been a journey, not one I'm particularly enjoying, but I'm learning a lot.
It's exciting. A new car is always exciting. I'm picking mine up this weekend.
Except I do not like new car smell. When I was at the dealership, and maybe it's because I'm pregnant, but I'm like, why do we chase this high?
In season 1 of Desperate Housewives, when she realizes she's pregnant because she throws up at the car dealership.
That's so true. Why are we chasing this high of new car smell? No, I want used car smell.
No.
It smells horrible.
I think we chase new car smell because it means you're getting a new car.
No, and it means new.
And it means new car.
Clean and fresh.
I love a new car.
It is exciting, although it's overwhelming.
It is. It's so many choices, and it's a big decision.
It's a big decision.
wrong
Although
one.
we lease, we don't buy, so it's like not that big of a decision.
It's still 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, maybe 3.
What kind of lease are you gonna do?
What kind of business y'all in? I'm not sure. I'm thinking 2 to 3.
3's a long time. Do 2.
You think 3's a long time?
think-
Yeah, my last lease was 2.
Yeah, mine was 2. Perfect amount of time. Zach's is 3. It's getting long in the tooth.
Zach's is getting a little long.
Yeah, and we're getting the Hyundai Santa Fe.
Wow. Okay. So like
So we'll be like Hyundai Swirlies.
Hyundai.
Hyundai Swirlies.
I'm starting to sweat. It's really hard for me to get dressed. Like, I'm not into this weather. It's making me think, I cannot believe that Charlie was born in August. What the fuck did you wear in July? Like, it's May. It's literally the most gorgeous weather, right? This is what people dream of. It's 60, sunny. I cannot stop sweating. And I don't know what the hell to wear.
Yeah, just wear like, what was I wearing?
Showing leg on the podcast is not an option.
Right, that makes it tough because you could wear like a bodysuit with like a
Yeah, of course.
collared
No, like
shirt
out and
over it.
about.
Yeah.
But no. And the podcast, like, Ben was like,
Why
just
don't
wear
you
biker
like
shorts.
A bodysuit that it's pants too, and like a collared shirt over it.
I just need like loose.
Yeah, but those bodysuits are comfortable. They're not
Just
like
getting hard.
they're not so tight. And it's kind of nice to have like a little bit of structure.
I feel like I'm going to be able to find like 3 outfits that work. One of them is going to be our oversized merch t-shirt, and I'm just going to have to rotate them throughout the week, and I don't want to hear a word about it, okay?
Yeah, I think that's fair. And you're promoting your brand, so she's being a good businesswoman.
You have been promoted. I actually thought about that woman the other day. You are now one of my elite employees. She was so viral. What happened to her?
She went back to promoting her elite employees.
Right, being a girl boss and CEO.
Yeah.
I'm actually like, I feel I am who I am because of her. I'm heavily influenced by her.
But you don't even know what she's doing now. You should follow her. I'm sure she has other premium content that's being slept on.
I think she like walks into local businesses and says like, hi, I'm a girl boss and CEO. And like, I want to help you elevate your establishment.
We need
It's
her.
kind of giving undercover boss.
We need her.
Totally.
Yeah.
Should we?
Dive in. Yeah.
Like,
Seems
I
as though it's time to dive into the Fast 5 stories that you need to know.
And the Fast 5 stories that you need to know are brought to you by Olive Ave. So Olive Ave jewelry is all about helping you remember the feeling. From handcrafted engagement rings to custom fine jewelry, Olive Ave creates pieces designed to celebrate love, friendship, and life's most meaningful moments. With personalized designs that feel truly yours and quality craftsmanship that's made to last, Olive Ave jewelry is the perfect choice for every occasion. So whether it's a proposal, a gift for a friend, or just treating yourself to something beautiful, check out Olive Ave jewelry. It's so true. Like, obviously having jewelry is like nice, you want beautiful things, but it's so nice to look down at a bracelet or a ring and like think of the time that you received it, or if you bought it for yourself, like how important that was, what milestone it represents. So the finer things in life, jewelry being one of them, whether you're celebrating love, friendship, or just yourself, Olive Ave jewelry has you covered. They have everything from stunning handcrafted engagement rings to the perfect sparkly push present and those perfect little pieces you buy just because you feel like it. Sometimes those just because gifts are the best ones. Olive Ave jewelry separates itself from its competitors because it's just true quality. It's made to last. No cheap stuff that falls apart after 2 wears. Their pieces are designed to become part of your biggest and most unforgettable moments. So if you're ready to add a little sparkle to your life, head to oliveavejewelry.com and use code TOAST at checkout for 10% off your first order. That's OLIVEAVE jewelry, JEWELRY.com. Our code is TOAST and it'll get you 10% off your first order. If you're looking to maybe get promoted to fiancé, highly recommend, just sending a quick link to the person in your life. So that's oliveavejewelry.com. Our code is TOAST for 10% off. Today's episode is also sponsored by BetterHelp. So let's talk numbers. Traditional in-person therapy can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 per session. It adds up fast, but with BetterHelp Online Therapy, you can save on average of up to 50% per session. With BetterHelp, you pay a flat fee for a weekly session, saving you big on cost and time. Therapy should feel accessible, not like a luxury. With online therapy, you get a quality care at a price that makes sense and can help you with anything from anxiety to everyday stress. Your mental health is worth it, and now it's within reach. So over 30,000 people have trusted BetterHelp. It's the world's largest online therapy platform. They have served over 5 million people. Oh, I'm sorry, not 30,000 people, 30,000 therapists, and they have served, slay, over 5 million people. Globally. So it's the largest online therapy platform. It's convenient. You can join a session with the click of a button. You can really fit therapy into your life however is most comfortable. So if you're looking to do video chatting, phone calling, texting, like whatever medium is most comfortable. Also, they'll match you with a therapist. And if it's just not a match for whatever reason, it's totally normal. You could switch at any time for no additional cost, which I think is one of the best parts of BetterHelp and why people really like it, because it's more personal than comedy. So your well-being is worth it. Visit betterhelp.com/toast today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/toast. BetterHelp.com/TOAST. That will get you 10% off your first month because your well-being is worth it.
Thank you, Turk Being.
You're welcome.
Our first story, Mrs. Chalamet, mother of Timothy, is revealing what she really thinks of Kylie Jenner and spilling the tea inadvertently on some of the relation. So Timothy's mom gave the actor's relationship with Kylie a big thumbs up. She revealed how she feels. Her name is Nicole Flender, so not Mrs. Chalamet, but for our purposes, Mrs. Chalamet.
I wonder, maybe she went back to her maiden name.
Maybe she didn't take her husband's name.
Modern woman.
I don't know why I feel like his parents are married still. He gives off that energy.
Yeah, like stable family life. Let me look it up.
Yeah.
But keep talking.
They always are all on the red carpet together. Anyway, she revealed how she feels about her son's girlfriend in a rare interview published on Monday. She said, "I have to say she's lovely. She's very nice to me." She also detailed the moment that she found out that her son, Timothy, bought an $11 million home in Beverly Hills to be closer to Kylie, presumably. She said,
Jackie, they are not married.
They're not?
They were married from 2008 until 2014. Nicole is a former Broadway dancer. She works as a real estate agent now in New York City. And Mark, the dad, Chalamet, is a French journalist who has worked for Le Parisien and the UN. They met in New York City while Mark was on assignment. Together, they have 2 children, Pauline and Timothée.
When's Timothy's birthday? They got married in 2008?
They could have had kids before that.
I know, but that's just I guess he's French, so the rules of love
when in Rome
go out the window. And that would make sense as to why Pauline lives in Paris now with her bebe. So actually
they've always had French vibes.
They give French. I guess Chalamet is a French name. She said, "Did he ask for my advice? No, before he bought the home. He said, guess what? I bought a house in Beverly Hills."
By the way, I don't think him buying a home in Beverly Hills, obviously he'd like to be near Kylie. He's a working actor in Hollywood. You need a house in LA. And it's not like he bought it in Hidden Hills.
Sure.
He bought it in Beverly Hills.
Sure. But he's been a working actor in Hollywood for a long time. And now
it's definitely amping up, don't you think? He's more in demand than ever.
I would say starting Call Me By Your Name, that was the kickoff of Timmy.
No, I feel like he really needed a place starting, let's think, what was, maybe Dune.
Yeah, so why now? Why this house?
I mean, it's hard to find a house, It takes time.
And he's been living with Kylie.
1,000%. Maybe he likes to rent. I love to rent.
You do love. Maybe he's like a Claudia at heart.
He's a renter.
But then he just plops down $11 million. Maybe not a Claudia.
Maybe Claudia in a different lifetime. I will buy a home eventually one day. I don't plan to live this untethered life forever.
Do you plan to buy a home? I feel like you don't. Oh, I guess.
My dream is I don't think I would ever buy a place in New York City. But I would love to own a second home.
Yeah, and that's what people in the city do. Some people rent in the city.
Because renting is so fabulous.
And then own a second home in the country.
Right, or the mountains, the beach. I'm open to really all elements.
Yeah. I feel like Timothy
And maybe
would
Timothy was
too.
like that too.
Yeah, definitely.
He definitely rents it. He totally has a place in New York because he's always here. He was at the Knicks game the other night, and he totally rents.
And he's
totally.
like a New Yorker, right?
He's like a classic guy,
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm just conflating him with all those pictures from him filming Bob Marley.
Oh, when I think of him in New York, I think of those pictures of him filming Gwyneth Paltrow movie, Marty McFly, whatever it's called.
The Kiss.
The Kiss,
Was
yeah.
that in New York?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's really a New York guy. Plus his sister's in Paris, so it's closer.
I want to say I think this woman did an excellent job, obviously being like the mother of a very famous person, dating an even more famous person. Donna Kelsey comes to mind. And she's had a couple of flubs. And everybody's very critical too, right? Like we're reading so in depth into this woman's article. So you almost like can't do a good job. And she did a lovely job. She said Kylie's lovely.
She's lovely. She's very nice to me.
And then she made like a funny little joke. Oh, my son bought an $11 million house without telling me. Ha ha ha. She came off real normal.
Yeah,
Good
nothing
for
like
her.
underhanded. Like,
right.
I feel like there's always like an underhand where it's like, wait, what? And then they say,
Yeah.
no, I'm an old lady. I'm confused. But we know
Right,
what they
right.
said.
No, and it's like
by the
sometimes
way,
like
I don't feel that way about Donna Kelsey. I feel like Donna Kelsey just got really nervous.
Donna Kelsey is also just like, she's just a victim of circumstance. Like it's the Taylor Swift of it all. Like Taylor's so much more famous than Kylie. Like it's just too much. Like she couldn't have done it right even if there was a way. Like there's not.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But with this woman, I think she really did a lovely job. She sounds like her and Kylie really get along nicely. And the thing with the Kardashians is like the families of the men that they date, like love them, right? Like they all become family. Like French Montana's still hanging around Chris and he dated Khloe for 5 minutes. Like they really bring, I mean, Amari, like they bring in everyone into their family. Their family just keeps growing and growing.
Except for Chris Humphrey's sister.
Correct. But she had like a chip on her shoulder, which I totally understood.
She wasn't wrong.
So maybe Pauline and what's the mom's name? Nicole
Flender.
Like I could see them on the next season of Keeping Up, at Dream's birthday party.
Yeah. Definitely Pauline now that she has a baby too. Like she'll want to go to all those activities.
Even though she lives in Paris, which is just like a little inconvenient.
She's going to have to come back soon.
Yeah. Actually, Sex Lives of College Girls got canceled. I don't know if she does have to come back soon.
Well, for Kylie, and she'll have to, be an aunt to baby Chalamet.
Yeah, right.
I'm on baby Chalamet watch now. Like, it's time.
I do think about the fact that like Kylie has 2 kids and so crazy because she's so young. And in the context of this relationship, like what that means. Like Timothy is the stepdad. We've never seen them all out together, but I imagine they do stuff and like they've met Uncle Timmy. And what does that look like?
I think it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it does look
He's
beautiful.
not the stepdad. He's the dad who stepped up.
Because they're still together. So, like, that's all going well. And they're so happy. And so I think it's really working out. And she wants a lot of kids. And this is the love of her life. So there will be baby Chalamet.
Yeah.
And I'm
God willing.
And those are things that I look forward to. God willing. Are you ready for our next story? A little more love news. Mm-hmm. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts quietly marries Bry Burrows. So the star player...
Hearts are breaking everywhere.
Yes. But no, like you guys couldn't get him. So let it be Bry.
You never stood a chance.
You never stood a chance. Like, he's so serious. He's so talented. Like,
he's very devoted to this woman.
He's devoted. He's loyal. Like, I'm sorry, you never stood a chance. So
Who are you?
Weren't wasting your time thinking about it. The Philadelphia Eagles player and Bry Burrows quietly tied the knot he revealed to Men's Health. In his cover story published on Tuesday, he did not provide details on the private couple's spring wedding date or location. Instead, he said that by the time the article was published, the outlet could refer to her as his wife.
Oh, that's so cute. I didn't even know he had a girlfriend. He's very private. He's also, I feel like, one of those players who like is well known and famous like for his work on the field. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Like we don't know a lot about his personal life, except I know that like his whole team is women. They love that. Like manager, agent, publicist, everyone's a woman. But like beyond that, like we just know his stats and he keeps his separation of church and state. So I feel like that's kind of a nice way to live, but it's nice that he shared this with us. That's really cute.
That is really cute. I also learned from Aaron Rodgers' documentary that like once you become a Super Bowl winning quarterback, the spotlight on your personal life gets so much bigger. Like before you're a famous football player, but like it becomes so much crazier. Like when you win the Super Bowl, when you're the star quarterback. Like for Aaron, things were quiet for him until he won the Super Bowl. That like changed his life. He's followed by cameras. I do agree that Jalen keeps it more under wraps, and Aaron was like he has all this drama that follows him.
No, right? Like he was kind of like the perfect storm, not only because he has this like crazy family drama, but he dates famous women, like a lot of them.
Danica,
so
Olivia,
right?
Shayla.
He makes it like easy for the press to. But Jalen kind of lives a quiet life, as far as I know.
Yeah,
so there's
but
not
I
a lot
think
of like meat there.
Given that he won the Super Bowl this year, he is like the best player in the league. I think we'll be hearing like a lot more about him, probably against his will.
Probably against his will. Yeah. Well, listen, it's the price of fame.
It is. It's the price of greatness.
They say that if you are to marry an athlete, like football players are the best ones because they have the shortest schedule and like you have the most, free time to get married. Whereas like remember Kate Upton when they were getting married, they had like 3 days off because her man is a baseball player, which is like the worst schedule, but he was also like an amazing one. So he was in the playoffs and then the World Series. And like their wedding came really close to the actual World Series.
Yeah.
So not that, I'm looking,
Not that
obviously.
you have your like pick of the...
But if I did, like I'd definitely be hanging out in the stadiums.
You'd go football?
Yeah.
I feel like basketball, they don't like that
No,
hard.
basketball like is a lot of games. It's like 80 games a season. Literally the football players play 18 games.
That's so funny. But they also get like
and the
seriously
baseball players
injured.
have like in the hundreds.
They're
But then you do have to deal with
With,
like
like,
perhaps like a
CTE.
concussion. Yeah. And like, yeah, that's tough. That's tough for sure.
Everything's a trade.
What do you think is least prone to injury?
Golf?
Basket.
Even though like
Golf.
you can like pull your shoulder or
No, golf elbow is a real thing. Ben gets it all the time.
plantar's fasciitis.
Plantar's fasciitis, and of course, like a bad back.
I would say also tennis. Being a tennis wag looks to be fun. Paige makes it look fun.
It does. Except like when I think about attending a lot of games of a particular sport, tennis is so quiet.
And it's like, yeah, and there's not a
Like
lot
we can't
of,
giggle.
It's not like high drama. It's a lot of boring before it gets interesting.
Yes, similar with golf.
But golf, I didn't realize they play every weekend. They actually have crazy schedules. And for a lot of the men, like they have to choose between having like a happy family life and being like present dad or being like great. That's like what Tony Finau is experiencing in 2022. He's so cute though. Oh my God, he won one weekend on the PGA Tour, 3M or something. And his whole family was there. He has like 8 kids.
Oh my God.
And his wife's father had passed away that year, so she was struggling. So he brought his whole family on the tour. They traveled with him like the whole year, and all the commentators were saying like it was taking away from his game. Like he's so distracted. He's with his family. He chooses his family. God forbid.
That's so wrong. That's so wrong. Literally, God forbid.
And then he won with them there, and it was really cute. I was like getting a little emo, and then I had to turn on the Valley.
But golf is like the same thing, like kind of quiet and boring.
Peaceful.
I think football, like the games are rowdy and fun, good food, liquor.
Drinks.
I think I'm definitely made for the football wag life if, my time should ever come.
And as a spectator in golf, you have to stand.
And walk.
And
Like from hole to hole.
And walk.
No fucking way. No fucking way. Thank you. I forgot about that part. You reminded me.
Are you ready for our next story? Is that why you don't go with Ben?
I mean, there's a lot of reasons. No, when Ben plays like with his amateur level, you could take the cart.
Yeah.
But they don't use carts.
No, they don't. That's what makes
Shocking.
it a sport.
Correct.
Are you ready for our next story? Mm-hmm. Penn Badgley is sharing the struggle of dating Blake Lively while filming Gossip Girl. So Penn Badgley went on Call Her Daddy. He's actually talking about being Dan Humphrey, which I don't know feels surprising.
Yeah, except like he's a podcaster, like by trade.
So, like, you have to
and
open
you have to lean into the lore if you want to be successful. And he is a successful podcaster.
He is. So he actually said that when he was doing Gossip Girl, living in New York and dating Blake, he felt he had a hard time like separating his Penn self from Dan's self. He said, when you're doing a television show, you're doing it constantly. He added that as his stardom grew, people began linking him to his on-screen character. What starts to happen when you're in this one role for a long time, the aspect of celebrity being a part of it, a huge part of it, there's not enough separation, I think, for anybody. You're seen as this person. You're called their name out on the street. You're also constantly having to be that person at work. He said that in his early 20s, he lacked the emotional maturity to understand how to differentiate himself from Dan Humphrey in terms of self-worth. He said, what people seem to think of Dan seemed to be what people thought of me. Like, I really do feel that. I see him as Dan Humphrey.
Yeah, a loser.
And
It's
like,
so true.
Why only him? I don't see Chase Crawford as only Nate Archibald.
Well, it depends. Like it's circumstantial. Like I don't see Blair as Leighton Meester Leighton Meester as Blair because she went on and like did a total left turn and went into music. And then Blake Lively, I didn't really see as Serena because I knew her before. She was the only one I knew before. And then she went on to do roles that were just as big as Serena, right? And so every person's different. I do see Ed Westwick like pretty much as Chuck Bass, but that's a good thing because we like Chuck.
Yeah, but also everything that Penn did after like was so Dan coded. Like he couldn't differentiate himself from Dan because he kept being Dan.
Jackie, because he is Dan.
Because he is Dan. And I guess he's saying here like he's not entirely Dan, but he didn't even say that. He just said, I felt like I was Dan. Everyone was treating me like I was Dan. I was being Dan in my personal life.
Because you were acting like Dan.
Because you're fucking Dan.
Yeah, no, it's so true. When I think of like, but it's not necessarily bad. It's just because Dan was like a weenie loser ass character. Like who would want to be? Because I think a lot when I see like Kelly Rutherford, she's so Lily, right?
Well, that's
like in real life, she's very. Yeah, and in real life, she like is all over Europe, Fashion Week. She's very fashion forward. Like, that's good. Like, yeah, you're Lily. Same with Ed Westwick. Like, who wouldn't want to be like sexy and mysterious? Then that's you. And then Dan, it's like, well, you're like artsy and grungy and like kind of insufferable. So I can see why you wouldn't like that.
Serena, and then you started a band.
Even though
like,
I actually don't think his Dan association has a lot to do with him dating Serena.
No, but I
think
think for him, it was one more layer of like his personal life being Dan. And like in his, I imagine that's a mindfuck, especially when you're younger and like you really start to like feel like you're this person and it's hard to separate the two.
Yeah. Yeah. Cry Me a River, Tiny Violins, you're fine.
Oh, I don't feel sorry for him at all because he's Dan.
No.
But it's just interesting to think about. And I imagine other like teen or young stars on shows like this really start to feel like their characters in a way that might also like puff them up, but then make them feel low because who are you?
A role like that is like a blessing, but you have to be careful with what you do with it afterwards. And so in terms of like roles you take and even people you date, just how you're perceived publicly, like if you don't want to be just this one thing forever, you have to be strategic. And I feel like he wasn't, but I think other people were.
Yeah, but then sometimes I think now, you're strategic and then like it reads so obvious that that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to go so hard against what you were. Like, I think for some people, it just like naturally works out. And then for other people, it's like you're either stuck as that person or you're Jenny Humphrey.
Although in the long run, I think he ended up fine, right? Like he had enormous success with you and enormous success with his podcast. But that was like really, really like later on.
I think it took a while. I imagine those years before you were like kind of
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000%.
I have something in my eye if you can't tell.
Are you getting emotional because of all the hard things that he went through?
Thinking about everything that Penn Badgley has gone through, it's hard.
It's devastating. How does somebody not start crying?
I've never seen you, but you guys already know that.
Yeah, I haven't either.
You haven't? Mm-mm. That's surprising.
Is it?
I thought that you had.
I'm not like murdery. Those are not my type of shows.
Yeah. And maybe
that one's for like the true crime podcast girls.
We'd be putting more respect on his name and we wouldn't be laughing at him.
I just want to say, at current Penn Badgley, like modern 2025 Penn Badgley, like I respect. But I acknowledge it was a long road to get here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are you ready for our next story? Mm-hmm. It's a little podcasting news starring your boyfriend.
Okay, which one? I have so many boyfriends. Joe Manganiello starting a podcast?
No, but like not far off.
John Mayer?
No.
Okay, tell me.
Sebastian Maniscalco will star in Apple's first original scripted podcast called Easy Money, the Charles Ponzi story.
Apple's first scripted podcast. So Apple's releasing original content now for podcasts?
Yes, and a scripted podcast, which people have done before. And this is the story of Charles Ponzi, for whom the Ponzi scheme is named.
Of course.
So Apple's moving into scripted podcasts for the first time and has tapped Sebastian Maniscalco as one of the stars of its first project. The company is launching Easy Money, the Charles Ponzi story, and Bookie star Maniscalco will voice the eponymous lead character. Oh, so it'll
Honestly,
be like a play.
He has a very distinct voice. And I think like him doing voice work, whether I would have thought more like, cartoons, but this works too, is really smart. I find it so interesting that Apple's like finally entering the podcast game. Like all these other platforms have been like creating original content, doing big partnerships. Like,
well, apparently they have original podcasts already in the nonfiction space with the likes of Hooked, The Line, and Missed Fortune. But this
never heard of any of those.
Yeah, this one is the first original scripted show. When I hear this, like, I think I want to watch this on TV.
It's like if we're putting so many resources, writers, screenwriters, Sebastian Maniscalco. Get a camera.
I agree, but maybe like this will happen and then it will get made into a TV show. And maybe that's another new good way to get TV shows made. Like first you steal books and now you could steal a podcast.
There have been a couple podcasts that have been adapted into
Serial?
TV. I don't think they've done a show yet, but they did that Will Ferrell one where he's like a therapist.
Oh.
And that like steals the life of his client or something.
Oh.
And like gaslights him.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
That was a podcast.
What? I'm just gonna, and with, was it?
I believe Paul Rudd.
Yeah. Okay, we're talking about the same thing. Show, podcast. And then what else?
I'm not sure, but I know it's been done like a couple of times. So it's like a new
Yeah,
thing.
it's a good idea. It's a good idea. And I think this sounds good. Sounds like a good story.
Yeah,
The
I don't
Shrink
know.
Next door.
Yes. I feel like we are always doing documentaries. Like everybody's story has been turned over in some way or the other, in a movie, a documentary, a podcast, except Mr. Ponzi.
Except Mr. Ponzi, the Ponzi
I don't know a lot about.
himself.
I don't know what his scheme was.
What was the original scheme?
Correct.
Like
I feel like they're going to change the name of a Ponzi scheme to like a Madoff scheme. Like he out Ponzi'd the Ponzi, right? And it became such a bigger story that like now the word people use is like Madoff as a verb.
He got Madoffed.
Right.
Yeah. But
that must be a great feeling for Bernie.
yeah, you did it, Bernie. I endorse this. I think this is a great idea.
Me too.
Are you ready for our fifth and final story?
If it's a story that's brought to you by Booking.com,
Yeah.
So this episode of The Toast is brought to you by Booking.com, Yeah. So every time we use Booking.com. Yeah. Every time we use Booking.com to find a place to stay in the States, we know that they're going to have exactly what we're looking for. Because they have a huge variety of options, from hotels to vacation rentals. We know that we can find exactly what we're looking for, and we've really found that Booking.com has something for everyone. So no matter what type of trip you're booking, you'll be able to find something really perfect for you. So whether you're like a Broadway lover who's taking a solo trip to New York, you can find amazing hotels with great rates, great walking distance to theaters. If you are like, everybody cares about different things in a hotel, right? Like for me, like I care about pristine room service. That's extremely important to me. And Booking.com has a ton of different options, you know? If you're looking for like a beach obsessed kid-free trip, you know, you and the hubby are just like getting a little, you know, time. Booking.com has amazing options there too. I feel like every time I plan a trip, I'm really requiring different things because sometimes I'm going with my whole family. We need a big old house. Sometimes I'm going me and Ben. We want to do like a little bit more luxe. So no matter who you are, Booking.com helps you find the stay that's ridiculously right for you. Find exactly what you're booking for on Booking.com, Yeah. Today's episode is also brought to you by Roback. Summer being right around the corner, it's time to get your summer body ready with Roback. Throw out your crusty, dusty workout clothes, revamp your closet. Roback's active dresses and shorts are the most comfortable things you'll wear this summer. So perfect. We were just talking about like what the hell do we wear when it's so hot? Active dresses. And active dresses are tough because they're really cute and you could style them up, style them down. But when it's time to go to the bathroom and you're like sitting completely naked without a bra in a public restroom, like it's definitely a low moment for society. But the Roback dresses are fabulous because they have built-in shorts underneath that you can actually just pull down by themselves and go to the bathroom without like taking your whole dress off. So whether you're going to the bathroom like a normal person or you pee every 30 minutes like I do, it's kind of pargy. They also have amazing shorts. So if you're looking to like actually be active this summer, whether you're training, you're going on runs, hikes, whatever, their active shorts are really great. They are super flattering. They come in really cute styles and they like hit you right at the perfect spot. I've been shopping at Roback for a while. I really like their always crew necks, hoodies, joggers, like their loungewear and their sets. I find just like a set is the only way to live, especially these days. So easy. And it's hard to find men's sets that like aren't slobbish. Like, okay, get a job. And I think that the Roback ones are like definitely the best ones I've found for men. They look put together, they look clean, they look dapper, but it's a crew neck hoodie jogger set and it's really easy to put together. So use our code TOAST at Roback.com for a generous 20% off your first order through the end of this week. Roback is spelled RHOBACK.com. Our code is TOAST, TOAST, and it'll get you 20% off your first order through the end of this week.
Thank you, Turdback.
You're welcome.
Did Ben answer you about the packages?
Oh.
Just to like,
thank you for following
I don't want to
up.
leave people on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. So he did also shut the window.
So we're good. Like, where did the feather come from?
But just one more hole in the story, if I may.
Yep.
If he brought in the packages and he hadn't FaceTimed you yet, you weren't on FaceTime when he stepped into the studio, right?
Mm-hmm. But I was, yeah.
But you didn't see him bring in the packages?
No, but like there were 3 small ones on the floor. He probably just kicked them in, or after he hung up, he brought them in. Like they were actually really small.
Okay,
all
so
3
I was
of them.
going to say, like, if he walked into the studio before FaceTime, he could have shut it and then be like, "Hey, it's shut."
I really, really appreciate your commitment to like seeing the worst in Ben, for sure. I was on the phone with Ben, Jackie, in the street. I called him the second he left the house because I was like, "You are not going to pull one over on me." Yeah.
No, I am just committed to understanding the feathers.
I know.
Take them for
maybe
testing.
maybe we just tracked them in on our shoes. Like maybe it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a simple tracking.
Maybe Romeo got into a pillow.
Jackie, it wasn't like I wouldn't touch it. Like I knew it had diseases on it.
100%. Our fifth and final story is some exciting TV news. Khloe Kardashian announces a new, very excellent Kardashian Hulu spinoff called Calabasas Behind the Gates. So at the Get Real house, which is Hulu's...
Hulu had like some big thing, like panels. The Mormon wives were there. They did a red carpet. There was the trailer release.
It's giving like...
it's kind of like an upfront.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were announcing some new programming, and Khloe was there because, of course, Kardashian's Hulu.
Because nobody works harder than her.
Well, nobody's working harder in their 40s than Khloe. If she were still 39, she wouldn't have been there. But because she turned 40, she can launch popcorn, a perfume, a podcast, and a spinoff show. But she couldn't do it at 39.
Just to wrap up yesterday's conversation, Jackie and I have been reached out to by Cloud Foods, and we will be receiving the popcorn hopefully sometime this week. They asked for our addresses.
So excited.
I'm excited too. I actually heard it's very delicious.
I'm so excited. I need some tasty popcorn. And okay, so here's the tea. So Khloe was talking about some major news coming to the network. She said it's very, very exciting, very new, very excellent. We're excited to continue developing. Calabasas Behind the Gates will tell the story of those closest to the famous family, such as friends and neighbors. Rob Mills, the executive vice president at Disney, Hulu's parent company, was also present to expand on the plot at the Get Real house of Hulu. He said, "We all want to know what's happening behind the gates of Calabasas. Who are all these people in the extended lives of the Kardashians? So we're developing a show that we're actually, at least for now, calling Calabasas Behind the Gates."
Okay, it's giving the working title of The Real Houses of Orange County. Wasn't it also called Beyond the Gates?
Yeah, something like that.
Now, I don't need to know, like, the plot of the show. I need to know the cast.
Of course, because like if it's Malika and Scott and
Agreed.
Travis
I'm
Barker,
good.
like we've seen that. But maybe it's Jessica Simpson. Maybe it's Jessica Simpson.
I'm thinking of a lot of the people in the Kardashians' inner circle. They don't live beyond the gates, right? Like, because I was thinking, like, Olivia.
Like lifers.
Yeah, or the two.
Olivia and Nicole, who are reality TV gold.
But I don't think they live in Hidden Hills.
No, I don't think it's about them either. I hope it's about, like, moms who live in Hidden Hills, who are friendly with the girls who would be like almost like Real Housewives of Calabasas.
Or maybe it's people we don't know.
Yes, those moms that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Or women.
Yeah, I feel like when we see like pictures of the kids, there's always like random kids there. It's like, who are their moms?
Yeah. I feel like it's Real Housewives of Hidden Hills. And I
kind of like this idea, although the name is stolen.
Well, they obviously didn't trademark it, or the trademark expired. But I like Behind the Gates, Calabasas Behind. And Khloe's always saying, maybe she was like teeing us up for this, but in last season she's always like,
she never leaves the gates.
I'm leaving the gates.
Yeah.
I'm in the gates, and it's all about the gates.
She's, by the way, totally teeing us up. That's actually such a good call.
She was saying it so much, like that it's like that. It raised a flag for me. I didn't think a TV show was coming, but I was like, why do they always say it like that? I'm leaving the gates.
The gates. No, and they don't always say it like that, like just this year.
Just this year. But also Khloe wasn't leaving her house until she turned 40. And I just want to say, like, I'm so glad she turned 40 because, like, she's obviously has a new lease on life and she's committed to making her 40s her best decade yet. But, like, she could have done all of this at 39 and it was just, like, a mental block.
Listen, however she got here is how she got here.
But, like, she's doing so much podcasts, and by the way, it is cloudfoods.com. So it's going to be more than
Yes, Cloud
popcorn.
Foods. The Instagram was Cloud Foods.
It's going to be more than popcorn, assuming the popcorn does well. And literally, she's going to be Robert Kraft. Okay?
From your mouth to God's ears.
Now she's doing the spinoff show. Still doing Kardashian's Hulu. She did her fragrance at Harrods.
Chloe in Wonderland is also really crushing. I see it all over the charts.
It is. She's the elk of a podcaster, and she always has been from that tub
We
in the
knew
Hamptons.
we knew that she was. We always have said that it's so crazy the Kardashians don't have their own podcast, and if they did, it would have to be her or Chris. And the fact that like now that there is like a Kardashian podcast, if there's ever
Kim had one.
Okay, it was about social justice, like it was about prison reform. I'm saying like anytime there's like a scandal, like that's where
Take
they're
it
gonna
to
go.
Khloe
Like,
in Wonderland.
Right, they have like an in-house platform now. It's so smart. I don't know. I can't believe they didn't have that before.
And she'll be like such a safe space for celebrities. I actually could.
Yes,
What's
Red
funny
Table
is,
Talk.
Right, which is funny because of like the Jordan Woods Red Table
Jordan.
Talk, and now like that will be Khloe, even though she hasn't used her couch like that at all yet. She's just talking to people she's interested in.
No, she's building it up and it's becoming reputable.
But like the way that
but it
Remy
will
went
become
to
that.
her, I could see other people like going through scandal or feeling misunderstood, like going to Khloe because she's just like there to listen and support and not judge. We listen and we don't judge.
Let's dive into the Valley recap because I'm feeling like I have like only a few minutes left inside of me to finish this podcast, you know?
Speaking of the Valley and podcasts, on Watch What Happens Live, Andy asked them, who do you think has the most unnecessary podcast in the cast? And I didn't
Who in
realize
the cast has a podcast?
every single person.
Jackson Brittany.
Jackson Brittany, Janet and Jason have a podcast. Michelle has a podcast. Nia and Danny have a podcast. Kristen has a podcast. Claudia, there's the better question is
Who did they
doesn't.
say?
Kristen said that Michelle's is the most unnecessary podcast because she just
I
hates
agree.
Michelle. And then Nia said that Janet and Jason's is the most unnecessary because she's beefing with Janet. So of course, like the person you don't like.
So I would agree that Michelle's is the most unnecessary, and let me tell you why. This is one of my feelings from the episode. It was very hard to watch her scenes with Jason. I know I lack context, so just based on whatever. So I know I lack context because I didn't watch season 1. So based on what I know, tell me if I'm wrong. Like, I think that Jesse is the most evil man on the planet. Like, I fucking hate him. And yeah, she probably wasn't perfect in the marriage, yada yada. But like, the way she's so right about him. Like his tears are fake. My daughter comes and says that the dog should stay with me because I'm lonely. Shut up. Like, and when they called Sheena and Sheena was like, yeah, that girl said that. Like, I hate this fucking man. Yeah. And I think he's evil. And I feel actually so sorry for her. But it's also painful to watch her because he knows exactly how to get under her skin. And she like lets him. And she's not a good fighter. Like, she doesn't have good words. And so that's why she makes a bad podcaster. She's not a good talker.
Yeah, she's not a good talker. But Heather McDonald said this like a while ago that these days having a podcast is like having an Instagram account. It doesn't matter like how big it is. Like everyone who has an Instagram like has a podcast. And so everyone just has a podcast. So I guess we have to kind of see it like that. I agree. I don't know why. I don't hate Jesse as much as you do, but I really do hate him when it comes to Michelle. Like he's just making things so difficult and like he doesn't want to be married to her. So just like let her go. Like make it easy. Stop torturing her.
No, he tortures her with the kid and it's so evil.
Yeah.
When he's like, you'll drop her off on Sunday with the nanny. And she says, okay, which nanny? Doesn't matter. And no, it does. No, it literally matters who's watching the kid.
Yeah. Because, like, is there a nanny or is it your girlfriend?
And he was like, yeah, well, right. But then he was like, Michelle just thinks that, like, I take the kid to hurt her and I just, go live my life and I drink and I socialize and I date and I leave the kid with the nanny. And that's not true. But what she doesn't realize is how much I struggle to balance my business, my personal life, and my single dad life. I'm like, oh, so what she said is exactly true. You have too much going on. You work too much, you date too much, you socialize too much, and you don't have time to be a dad.
Right.
Like, you literally just admitted what she thinks of you is the absolute truth.
She never even said that, but now I'm like, yeah, you leave the kid with the nannies and the iPad. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah, nannies and the iPad, yeah.
I also appreciate that Michelle, like when he starts crying, she's like, you're doing this for sympathy. Like, because we don't know what he says to her behind the scenes. And I might have watched that and been like, oh my God, Jesse cries? Like, he really must be feeling some way. She's like, no, you're doing this for sympathy to make me look cold. Like, I don't care. You've said... presumably off camera, like you don't give a shit that I'm the mother of your child. Like I need to know this information because like I could be getting played.
No, I'm so team Michelle. Like I'm sorry,
I just wish she like it's just so basic. Like
she's hard to root for.
Yeah, because like she's not like incredibly sassy and strong and like but she's a good mom. All she cares about is her daughter. She just wants like love and peace in her life and can't she just have that? And like, why can't, and then you can go have the life that you want.
The Jackson Brittany stuff is so crazy. I guess it's not so crazy now because a couple of weeks ago, Jax shared that he was struggling with a cocaine addiction. But like the fact that she ripped the Band-Aid off and said it on camera, I imagine is the impetus behind a lot of what he's sharing now because it's out there. And when he was like, well, you've never done it? She's like, I have, but give me a drug test I could pass right now. Could you? And then he just like silently walked back upstairs. Slay. Brittany, I've always liked Brittany. I have enormous respect for her now. A, just like seeing what she's been dealing with over the last couple of years, but B, how she's really very protective of her son. Like 100%, do not kiss my son on the face.
100%. At first when she was like, don't kiss him on the face, I'm like, yeah, you don't deserve to kiss him on the face, you stink. And then when she was like, because you had a disgusting girl here last night and you probably haven't.
That photo, the photo they used of the girl.
Like do not kiss him.
How did they show that on TV? Of all the photos they used to show.
No, but like we
this
needed
girl.
to understand who this person is.
No, I
and
fully
the fact
understood,
that
and then I
she
said,
the dirty thong on the count. Like she's out of control.
Disgusting.
And
I guess the agreement is that, you know, Jax took the marital home, which is fucking crazy. The least you could do, that's still Brittany's house. Brittany pays for it. Brittany sleeps in that bed.
She shouldn't pay for it.
Of course not. But the agreement is that they can see other people, just not in the marital home, which I think is really fair. And that's what got Brittany so revved up, is now it's two girls having come back to the house. And that's why there was a playing card over the camera.
Right. But then what Jax would say to that, which was that we had a set of rules, no one in the home, no dating people that we know. Brittany broke that rule, so I break this rule.
Oh, was the rule dating people we know? I didn't hear him say that.
Said. Yeah.
Okay, the way I don't give a flying fuck
over it.
that Brittany dated Julian. Like, I'm so glad she had someone. And I do feel like you can see she's not in love with Jax anymore. Like, this isn't hard for her because she loves him. It's hard for her because she's stuck with him.
She's stuck with him and he's a torturer.
And she's responsible for him because he really has nobody. And she cares about him, but not in a way like that I think is romantic, even remotely.
Just in a way that it's like, I need you to be a functioning human being so that our son can have a functioning human being as a father.
And I just want to say, he didn't see his kid for so long. He walks into the house and Cruz literally does not walk towards him and starts crying. Like, that's not a good sign.
No. That was a really bad look for him and very telling.
Yeah, 1,000%. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And
you could tell he doesn't want to go to the 30-day treatment because he doesn't want to miss filming, because that's all he cares about, because he's not even...
He was talking a lot about 30 days. I'm like, what's such a big deal? 30 days for your whole life.
Work at Jax's, which I'm sure the show that could go on without him. It's about the fact that this is happening during filming and he doesn't want to miss 30 days of being on the show. And he's only going to a facility to check a box, to say, I went, I changed, I did. And we've seen that before from him. So like, this instance is not the one. This is actually probably not the rock bottom for him, because also he's been sober now. He said a few weeks ago, 80 days.
83.
That's not starting last summer. That would be
got it. Okay, so this is fake.
This is a fake one. You could.
Do you think he stays the whole time? No.
I don't. I feel like if he did stay the 30 days, even if he came in with the wrong intentions, it would be effective for him.
Yeah.
So,
and that's what the guy on the phone was saying, because he was making it seem like it was about money.
Yeah, but that guy on the phone was just wanting a check. Like, he did not
care
about
I felt like
well-being.
So I felt like that wasn't a real recording of what the guy on the other end of the phone was saying. It was like dubbed with like AI generated phone conversation, because who talks like that?
No, he's like, give us the money and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a caring mental health person.
2 15-day stays will not be the same as 1 30-day stay. I'm like, why?
Well, because probably the magic happens on day 16. And if you leave, then you have to start all over
convenient.
again. No, but you know what I mean? Like, you have to be in. It doesn't all happen on day one. It takes time. And if you lose that time. But I thought, I don't know where he's going. And like, the thing is, I feel like when everyone's telling you need to go somewhere and you're doing it to check a box, like, I feel like you shouldn't get to choose where you go.
Agreed.
Especially because he's saying it's like a mental health place. Like, you need a rehab.
Yeah. One thing, and my real takeaway from this episode was how much I really respect Brittany, because I know everybody like doesn't agree with me, and I don't know the real context or history, but I know people don't like Janet. All I know so far, like, there's nothing that I dislike about her, and I'm 100% on her team about the whole miscarriage Zach comment. And the fact that Brittany like refuses to ride for her best friend. Literally, this is her best friend, right? They're from Kentucky together, right? Refuses to like ride for him. I really respect, like, as a woman and as a mom, like, what you said was so fucked up. Like, no, bitch, you're literally on your own. I'll be your friend still. Like, we could talk and giggle about your boyfriend. But yeah, there's going to be a distance between us because you said something so fucking crazy. Like, normalize holding your friend's feet to the fire and telling them that they're nuts. Yeah,
I totally agree. I know half the group like hates Janet. They say like, she's crazier than Kristen. She's a shit starter. I haven't seen it yet. Like, I just haven't seen, and even Kristen last night on Watch What Happens Live, like, they're just talking. So, I mean, if she does come for Nia, like, Nia is a PJOW.
Protected class.
I will be interested to see what that's about. But so far it's just not landing for me. Like, Janet seems fine, and anything
She's
that
a little boring, but
like last season she was pregnant, and so if anything she did wasn't perfect, like you do get a pregnancy
she gets a pass.
Kristen Doty is about to get one as well. But yeah, it's just like not landing for me, the hatred of her and like how she's this crazy manipulator. Like who the fuck is they say she's more manipulative than Jax. Who has she manipulated into anything?
I mean, that's insane to say.
Yeah, and so they said that to Brittany, and that's offensive. I'm sorry, that's offensive to say to Brittany.
And I just was genuinely curious at the amount of time they made us watch and learn about Zach's relationship.
Okay, thank you for...
with a married man who lives in Canada.
Thank you for discussing this, because...
that FaceTime conversation was top 5 weirdest human communications I've ever seen in my life.
The Monster Energy refrigerator in his apartment.
Yeah, in his kitchen.
That whole scene, this whole storyline was so
Do you
bizarre.
know this guy? Like, did he film last season?
No.
Like, we didn't get any Nia
Like, so
Nia
weird.
and Danny.
He starts crying, I'm going through a breakup. He's being deported and he's married.
And when he said he was married, I was like, what are we talking about here?
And then, like, the guy calls Zach, and, like, Zach starts word vomiting, being like, I want to be with you. I want to make it work. And it's like,
he found his green card. He's here to stay.
and, like, Benji hasn't said anything. Like Benji doesn't want to. Not only is he deported and married, he also doesn't sound like he's like really in this relationship.
No, but also, like, who is Benji in this world? Like, who is Benji?
When he started talking about Benji before they showed their pictures and like explained their history, I'm like, Benji.
I thought for sure I missed it in the last season.
No, like that should have been left on the cutting room floor. Like,
and that was a lot of time. Like, he had his own solo scene, and then we're hearing about it with Brittany. I'm like, the whole second half of the episode was about this guy. I'm like, how did we get here?
No, and then Nia I went to her Instagram last night to catch up on her day in the city, and they all went out to dinner in the city. Nia and Kristen and Tom Schwartz was there, and Zach and Benji.
Oh, okay. Well, at least they're together. At least it wasn't for nothing.
I don't think they're like now they're together. I think it's like still like drama and the threat of deportation. Like maybe he's just on vacation.
The threat of deportation to Canada. Like, this is so unserious. Like, I seriously have no idea what's going on.
No, that was just out of left field. And like, I'm sorry, there's a lot going on.
I'm glad I read the situation correctly.
Deteriorating. Jesse and Michelle, Kristen v. Janet. Like, we don't need to hear about Benji today.
Not today. Okay, I'm so glad I was right about that. I was so confused.
It was so odd.
Okay, that's funny. Well, that's our show. That's the Valley recap. Tomorrow we have Summer House. Also, Paige is on Watch Robbins Live for the first time. So
for the first time?
For the first time in like over a year.
Oh, for the first time like this season.
This season, yes. I saw someone on TikTok say that she hasn't been on since February 2024, so don't ask me how I know that. Like,
so last season she went on.
Yeah, this is like her first appearance this season, and first appearance post-breakup. That's why it's remarkable.
I was thinking, I saw she's going to be on tonight, and I was like, this is going to be like juicy probably, because Andy's going to just ask her everything, especially in light of the Southern Charm reunion. They haven't filmed Summer House reunion. Like, Andy's asking us questions. Hopefully he's in a good mood.
I hope Andy's in a good mood. Yeah.
Hopefully she brings a dog.
Thank you guys so much for listening. She has a cat. Thank you guys so much for listening to The Toast. Me neither. The Millennium Morning Show. We deliver the fastest stories you need to know every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So you're watching us on YouTube. Please feel free to subscribe. Give us a video a thumbs up. We're also available as podcasts and where podcasts be found. So Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeart, Castbox, all the places where you send a podcast. Find us at Toast. 5-star review. Beautiful, stunning, and wickedly talented we are. Yeah.
Love ya. Bye.